Hey, welcome back. So this is part 2 of 2, where I will teach you how you can design this contact form, and better than that, I will teach you how you can use email.js in your NextJS project, which is going to allow you to send emails even on localhost. And after that, to wrap up this project, we will just build this simple footer and this project will be finished. As usual, I went ahead and added the section title inside our home page, and we can see it already. And I have also imported and used our custom contact component. So now it's time to develop and make this contact form work with the help of email.js. Let's use npm to install email.js package. I'm gonna press enter and wait until this finishes. After that, of course, I'm gonna have to import email.js in order to use it, and this actually also means that we need to use client directive at the top. Okay, I have added the imports that we are going to need. Okay, and let's start by building up the logic that is necessary for us to actually send the email. And this is way simpler than you might expect. Okay, so I'm gonna basically type this out and explain you a bit. We'll have to use this React hook, and that's why we are using this. And at the end of the day, we will run this function on form submit. Of course, the function is empty now, but we are going to build this up together. As you might expect, the first thing that we want to do when we run this function is to actually prevent the default behavior. And if you do not understand this, all you have to do is to Google this out, and it's going to be way easier. And then I want to send a feedback message to the user, okay, to say if the message was sent successfully or not. And I'm gonna use a bit of DOM to do this. So I'm gonna define a let, so this is the feedback message. So user message, okay. I'm gonna define a let variable, and I'm gonna call it user feedback, okay. And I want to go and grab an ID that I do not have yet because we have not yet built the UI part, but I'm gonna do this bit right away anyway. So I'm gonna grab that element by ID. All we want to do is basically access email.js that we have imported right here at the top, okay? And now we have this method available, okay? And in here, we need to pass some stuff that is going to be unique for you, okay? So you will have to pass the service ID, the template ID, and also form.current, okay? And we'll need something else. So I'm leaving this strings empty because you will have to get your own service ID, template ID, and so on, and I will show you how to, but I will use my own strings and you need to get yours, okay? And then then we want to do something. So we'll have some sort of result from this, of course. And what do you want to do with it? You don't have to, but I want to console.log something. Wait, I spotted 2 typos already. There's 1 and there's 2. We can now continue. So I basically want to console log the result text, okay? and I want to send a message to the console, in this case the browser's console, because we are using use client, which turns this component into a client component, of course. So what I want to do at the end of the day is to console log. I want to access result and the text, okay, and I want to concatenate, if that's the word, a message, which is going to be something like a message sent. And this is just for myself, this is just for the developer, this is just for yourself, okay, because you're using console log. So but you also need and should give visual feedback to the user. Okay, you can use React Toast, I guess, or Notice Stack, stuff like that, but I'm just using the vanilla JavaScript in this case. So I'm gonna access my user feedback variable, okay, boom, and I want to use inner text, and this is plain JavaScript, okay, and what I want to do here is to type your message, and this is the message that the user will see. Your message was sent to us. Oh my god, I cannot type today. Thank you. Okay, this is what the user sees, okay, and after this I want to actually clear the form. So after the message gets sent, I want to clear the form, so the inputs get empty, okay. So for that I'm gonna access again my event, and I'm using the short E, okay, for the event, the usual convention, I guess. I'm gonna access target, and I'm gonna use the reset method, okay, which is going to cause the form to be cleared after submitting the message. And this is when things go right, okay, but if things go wrong, okay, if there's an error of some sort, you want to do something with it, right? And that's what you normally do. You want to handle your errors, and in that case you want to use a console log again, okay, because you always want to send feedback to the browser's console, and in this time you're gonna access the error, okay, and text, and you can again concatenate. I think I said it right this time, and this time the message can be, I don't know, message not sent. I think this is clear enough, okay. And one more time, you want to grab this variable and use the inner text to also display feedback to your user, okay. So you want to say something like sorry, something went wrong, and maybe you can add we could not send your message. I think this is clear enough, okay. So this is, believe me or not, this is pretty much it. So of course you now need to add the strings here to make it work, otherwise you will see this. And I made another mistake. What's wrong with me today? I'm just tired. Okay, so now really it's time for us to move on and build the UI and test this. So let's go. So now pay attention to this, because we'll have plenty of things nested. I'm installing the outer div using Flexbox. So flex call to start with on MD. I'm gonna use flex row to put things side by side. Justify center, items to the center, and I want to have a gap of 8. Okay, now inside I need to have two main divs. Okay, let's prepare them. Okay, there you have it. two main divs. I'm gonna style the first one, and it's going to be width of full. On MD, I want to change the width to, oops, there's a typo already. On MD, I want to change the width to 30% only, and I want to give a padding X of 6. Okay, the second one is going to be similar but not the same. I'm just gonna copy paste to be faster. In this case 70%, and the padding is going to be Y and 2 instead of 6. So let's continue. Inside the first main div, I pasted this content, this text that you can see on the screen already. So now let's work on the second div. As you can see, I nested plenty of divs and added plenty of classes. So here inside this div, this is where the magic will happen. We'll display our user feedback message inside the div using DOM. So we started doing it right here. And below it, we'll actually work in our form. So let's do it. In fact, this form doesn't take any action, but we need a class name for styling, of course. So flex wrap, another typo, be aware of the typos, and we need to use our ref, okay, and our ref is going to be our form, okay, so form, let's use our ref and pass our form, and on submit, okay, on submit we want to run our custom function, which is the send email function. So there you have it, and of course we need to add the inputs so the user can actually type something inside the form. Inside the form we'll have 4 different sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's work inside them individually. Here is the first div. This is super simple. I'm not gonna spend much time on this, but there's 2 tiny details that I want you to pay attention to. Because we are using React.js under the hood, of course, you cannot simply use the for attribute. You need to use the HTML4 attribute. And this name is really important. So whatever you put inside this string needs to be a match to email.js. Just keep this in your mind and we'll come back to this later. Here is div number 2 and it's pretty much the same. So I'm gonna just copy paste and show you the other 2. But yeah, the important thing is this bit right here. Let's move on. Time for div number 3, which is this one, the message. Okay, one more time, keep this in mind, and let's go to div number 4. Finally, div number 4, it's just a button. Now we can see the full form on the screen, and what is important to mention is you need to add this attribute, the type submit, because on submit we need to make this function run, our custom function that is responsible for actually sending the form data, I mean. Let's just check the UI for this component. Oh, sorry, this is not the one. Well, this is the one, and I see a problem. So what I want to do actually is to change this. So let me see, yeah, this height, not height, the width. So making 100, if I reduce by 10, yep, this is now looking way better. Remember that you will not get any email unless you provide the correct strings. So this is not an email.js tutorial, but I'm gonna give you a quick walkthrough. Just go to this website, and in case you do not have an account, just sign up for free. After that, just log in into your account. After logging in, just go to account, and in this part you will get your API keys, and you will have the first one, okay? And that's the one that you need to copy paste. So this is the string where you need to paste your public key into, okay? So do that, and then let's see where to get these two. Now click email services, and you will not have anything yet, okay? You press this button, add a new service, and as you can tell, I'm using Gmail, okay? After you connect this, you will get your service ID. So you need to copy and paste your service ID as well. So just copy that, and I'm going to show you where to paste that into. As you can see, this is where you paste your service ID. And the last thing for us to get is the template string. Okay, this is going to be also unique and customizable. Similar to what you did before, you click email templates, and this is actually, as you can tell of course by the title, is the template for your email. You don't really have to create, you need to create a new template because this is going to be empty at the beginning, but you don't really need to customize it, okay? All you have to do is to basically create it and use the standard, and then you need to make sure that the variables inside that template, it's a match to your name inside your form, but we'll go over that. For now, just copy this template ID and you already know where to paste that. So this part is actually important. This is where you're going to send the email to. So the user uses the form to contact someone, and that form data will be sent to this email in this example. Of course that you can add the BCC or the CC. As an example, I'm adding the CC email, okay? But I haven't really customized this in terms of the content of the body of the text, but these are the variables that are really important, okay? And this one as well. So you need to make a perfect match from this name, this email, and this message. And I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. So you see this variable from_name, I'm using it right here. And the same goes for from email. I'm using it right here. And the same goes for the message. Where is it? There you have it. Message. Okay? Of course you can customize this, but these variables, whatever variables you have it here, need to be a perfect match to this in this case. Okay? Message and all of that. Okay? So this is the important thing. Now really it's time for us to see if this actually works or not. As you can see, I have restarted the project, okay, and let's give it a try. At gmail.com, and the JavaScript way test. Press enter, and boom, looks like the message was successfully sent. And we can also check that inside our console log. Remember, inspect, and because the component it's a client component, we can access the console, and there you go. Okay, message sent, which is this message right here. So this means that I should have an email. There's like warnings. You can fix this. This is not so important. This relates to image, but I'm gonna check my inbox. There you have it. I got the message in a matter of seconds. So the message was sent from this person with this email, and this is the message that was sent. Of course, you can definitely work on this email UI, and but yeah, this is not the point. The point is just to show you how easy it is to set up email.js in React.js, in JavaScript, in NextJS, whatever. So this is the goal. So it's working. Let's continue. Time to work on our last component, which is going to be the footer. So I'm just going to change from div to footer using the HTML5 semantic tag, of course, and I'm going to start styling this outer div. I want to give a padding 8 to all sides. The BG color is going to be our custom blue color, and inside we'll have a div which is going to be actually a grid. So a div, and this div, as I said, it's going to be a grid. So let's define grid. I want grid calls to be just one to start with. On MD breakpoint, I want my grid calls to be 2, and on LG, I want my grid calls to be 3, and I always want a gap of 6. Okay, so inside this div, this one I'm gonna have a padding Y of 5, width of full. The next one, the width, it's going to be full. I need to use flex for flexbox, of course. Justify start, which means to the left. On MD, I want to change that to justify to the center, okay? And I want to put my items to the center. The last div, the width is going to be full, justify start, and on LG, I want to justify to the center and items not to the center but to the end. Okay. Inside we are going to have another div. I'm gonna style it. I want to use flexbox, of course, justify to the start, and a margin bottom of 8. Now inside of this div, I will have two things: an image and a span. So let's start with an image, and I can actually copy paste this image, of course, so it's a bit faster. And right below it, I'll have a span tag, and this span I can simply style it right away. The font is going to be extra bold. I want the text to be 2XL, but I want on XL, I want to make this text to be bigger, so text 3XL. Okay. I want to use uppercase, and I want the cursor to be pointer. Okay. And the text to be white. Text to be white. So text white. And I'm thinking that there's no point to have cursor pointer here unless I wrap this with a link, which I'm not going to do, so I'm going to remove that part. And so these two things, but below this div, I also need to have a paragraph, and I'm going to copy paste this. Okay, this is just a paragraph, and we see nothing because I am not yet importing these components. So I'm going to go to my page, which is our root page, of course, and I'm going to import my footer, and below contact, I'm going to use my footer, and let's see. Let's refresh this, and there you have it. We start to see something. Okay. Why don't I see training center? I should see it. There should be a typo. Text white. Oh, because I never wrote it in the first place, of course. Training center. Should see it here. There you have it. See? Cool. All good. Let's continue. Okay, inside this second div, this is where we are going to have our links. Okay, I'm just copy pasting them, and as you can tell, I'm not sending the user anywhere actually, but you can modify these to your own needs, of course. Coming along nicely. The last thing that we need to do is to add the copyright details right here. So let's do that right now. All we need is this p tag, and I'm gonna style it. So I want to use the font normal this time. Text, I want it to be smaller. This is not so important. The text color is going to be text slate 200, very light color. Okay, and the content is going to be simply copy right at 2023. So this is a static number, but now I want to use vanilla JS to generate the current year dynamically and automatically. For that, all I'm going to do is, let me just do the logic in here. What I'm gonna do is to create a new date, basically new date. Okay, and then I'm gonna extract simply the full year. So get full year. You can get more data, of course, but this is all I need. And I'm gonna invoke this, and this should be fine. Add a dot, and then I'm gonna add all rights reserved, and this should be it. Let's see. Oh, there's a typo. Copyright. Okay, sorry for that typo. And there you have it. So now we have finished it, and we do have our footer, and the full project works. And thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, just subscribe to more videos just like this one.